Hey, how you guys doing today? Chewy891 here, coming at you with a little bit of a video slash podcast slash something. Just talking about this is from Marvel Crisis Protocol, and this is just talking about my mindset when it comes to building a roster. This is just my two defenders rosters that I've built over the past maybe week or so. I'm thinking about putting these teams together and giving them a shot. I have to practice this out in Tabletop Simulator and all that, see how it goes. There was a couple people on Facebook. Someone posted about who would I run in defenders when I run that team, and I figured this is a great time for me to talk about just my mindset when it comes to roster building and what I like to play and what I like to run and the reasons why. And yeah, I guess let's get into it. First, I do have two lists when it comes to the defenders. My first one that I created was the Defenders X Brotherhood. I do like the Brotherhood a lot. Magneto's one of my favorite characters of all time, and and it helps that he's really good. I wanted to build just combine two rosters together so I could have a little bit of fun. You know, if I feel like playing Brotherhood on a certain day, I can make a list of the Brotherhood. If I don't feel like playing Defenders, I can mix it up with the Defenders and the Brotherhood and come up with something really cool. And then I have a straight Defenders list. That's all I'm running is the Defenders. Doctor Strange is my lead, along with other models that I think will do really, really well with him, and the Extract and the Secure objectives that I run with it, along with the Tactics cards. Both are pretty different. And this roster is a work in progress. This is all open to critique as well. I mean, once I get this video out there and you guys watch it and see what my rosters are, go ahead and let me know what you would change. Let me know what you would do. How would you build your Defenders list or Brotherhood list? Whatever. I like to hear all opinions. If you think I'm wrong, tell me. Go ahead and let me know. And what would you do to make the roster better? So, all right. I guess we can get into the first one here. And I'm using Tabletop Simulator to build my roster. So this has been improved so much. It's easy to build a roster now. You just drag and drop your cards into here, save it, create it, etc. It's really, really good. I like it a lot. All right, so let's get into the first one. I believe this is my... Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Yep, here we go. So this is my straight Defenders list. This is the wrong one. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. Close roster. Grab the wrong one. Here we go. This is what I want. Okay, I wanted to start off with my Defenders X Brotherhood list and why I chose what I chose. Basically, the reason why I like the Defenders a lot, I feel like it kind of fits my style. The fact that he could hand out defense dice, I could play a little bit of a slower game with the Defenders, and position people in certain ways with his push and all that, and I can help other characters survive too with handing out dice and everything as long as I have the power to do it. I'm always running Doctor Strange with the Soul Gem. There's no way I don't run him without it. I haven't played a game yet where I've tried Doctor Strange without a stone. I do want to try it one day just to see how it is. I can't see him without it. He needs the power to do a lot of things. Yeah, he has built-in rerolls and all that stuff, but still, I mean, the Soul Gem helps him a lot. He starts off with 2 power, and then from there, if people use superpowers, he just gains power. You know what I mean? And then also, we'll get into it. So that's the reason why I run the defense, like I said, is because it fits my style. I feel like it's a slower gameplay. I feel like he helps out a lot of characters defensively, and especially with characters that have weak defenses. They can be harder to kill now. Like for example, I mean, let's just go with Ebony Maw. I've run him on both of my Defenders lists. I mean, Ebony Maw has grown a lot on me, and he fits both rosters perfectly. With Ebony Maw, right? I mean, yeah, he does amass 3 power a turn, but if you continue to keep attacking him and stuff like that, he's just going to run out of power eventually. Now, granted, he can gain power by taking damage, and he can just continue to keep doing his mind over matter, which basically gives him 6 defense dice, and he turns out to be pretty hard to kill. But the beautiful part about Doctor Strange running alongside him is that if you don't want to spend the power off Ebony Maw and save it for, let's say, if you want to have enough power to do Herald of Doom and something else, or do a throw with telekinetic powerhouse, you can just go ahead and use the power off of Doctor Strange, pump him with defense dice. I mean, he goes from 2 to 4. If they attack his psychic, which I don't know why you would, but you attack his psychic, and he's a 6, and he goes to 8. Now, granted, if I wanted to, I could do both, right? I can go ahead and do Mind Over Matter, go to 6, Doctor Strange, put him to 8. Good luck trying to kill him with 8 dice, right? You can do that as well. Again, using power as both, but again, you just see the synergy there when it comes to Doctor Strange and this character, defensively. The survivability is pretty high. Granted, he doesn't have any built-in rerolls or anything like that, but I mean, try to kill a character with 8 dice, 8 defense dice. I mean, it's going to be tough, and you're putting all that focus into Ebony Maw and all that stuff. And on top of that, I mean, Ebony Maw with psychic attacks. I mean, there's not a lot of characters in the game that have high psychic attack. I mean, I know Hela does. I know Magneto does for sure. And I'm missing some other characters. But, I mean, it's very few and far between that they have high defense on psychic. So it helps that he has a psychic attack as well. The other beautiful thing about Ebony Maw with Doctor Strange is I can, once per turn, spend a power, change it, and I can change it to an energy, I can change it to physical, and I could, with that change, I can go ahead and I could hand out damage and then hand out hacks, etc., I just love the synergy between these two characters right here with Ebony Maw. That's the reasoning I have him here with Doctor Strange, and I have him also with Magneto, because with Magneto, well, we'll get into Magneto in a second. Let's continue with the Defenders side of this roster here. Doctor Strange, obviously. I'm sorry, I should have started with him first, but I saw Ebony Maw, and I feel like I had to talk to why he's here. Just an awesome character. Range 4 attack. He moves medium. I mean, he's 3/4/4 for defense. Physical is 3. Energy's 4. Psychic's 4. He can either pump his dice to 2 with Horgoth's Hoary Wisdom. Anybody within range 3, including him, he just hands out 2 dice, and it's not once per turn. It's against an attack. So people keep attacking you, just keep doing it. So that's why you have the Soul Gem along with him. You start off with 2 power. You go in, you do an attack, you do multiple devilment. You try to gain some more power off of that. Not just that, if you're within range 4 people because of the Soul Gem, if they end up using superpowers, which everybody does, he gains another power. So that alone, I mean, you just run him that way, get him in ranges, get him within range 4 people, which is pretty easy to do. He has a medium movement. His attack is range 4. So as long as everybody's within that range, if they keep using superpowers, he gets a power. As long as he's within range 3 of his supporting cast, he can hand them 2 defense dice. It's really, really good. It's very, very tanky. And like I said, I mean, now they're wasting attacks, now they're wasting activations in a certain... Not that they're wasting, but they're attacking these characters, and they should be harder to kill. You know what I mean? Which, burns an attack or whatever, and it gives me an option to do something the next turn. That's just... I just love the way that... I just love how that works with Doctor Strange, He has the Eye of Agamotto, which if he rolls a failure result... Well, it doesn't matter. He can reroll everything, including failures. That's awesome as well, especially if you do an attack, 5 dice, whatever, you get a hit, crit, get another hit, and let's say everything's blank and that the opponent blocks everything, you net +1 dice because of the crit you rolled, so now you're rerolling 6 dice. Granted, you don't get the explosion of the crits on that reroll if you do it again, but the point is that right afterwards, you're basically netting yourself 1 dice if you hit a crit and then reroll and then see what happens, right? Crimson Bands of Sidorak for 4 power is an awesome second attack for 4 power. I, for the life of me, have not been able to pull off Crimson Bands of Sidorak, the whole Mystic Binding thing, which is after this attack is resolved, instead of inflicting a stagger special condition, it just gives the character an activated token, which is huge. If you can steal an activation this game, past turn 2, if you can start stealing activations, you're in control of the game, and this is really, really huge. If you can go ahead and take an activation away from a character on his side, on your opponent's side of the field, that was going to alter their game or do something game changing to change the game around, this is huge. I mean, I haven't had it pulled off on me. I have not pulled it off on anybody yet. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, you need to hit crit wild. I mean, you should be able to get it with rerolls and everything like that. I just haven't been able to. Maybe it's just my dice. I don't know. Also, Shield of Seraphim, every time he rolls a block, he gains a power. And that's huge. So that's why, I mean, you sit there and look at it like, oh, maybe you don't need a Soul Gem. I think you do. If you don't, you're banking on damage you're dealing, and then you're banking on rolling blocks, which is a 1 out of 8. So, Soul Gem is necessary, in my opinion, with this character. So that's pretty much Doctor Strange and my thought process. Well, just the character, and you got a little bit of insight of how I play the character. You know what I mean? Positioning is key. You got to make sure you're within range 4 people for the Soul Gem and for his attacks. You want to make sure you're within range 3 of your characters to hand out the buff with the defense dice and everything like that. Another character is a brand new character that just came out, Beast. I love him almost on every team, but I love him more with the Defenders. I haven't played him much or at all with the Defenders. I'm going to probably this weekend or sometime during the week if I can get a chance to play online. I just love everything he does. I mean, he has a range 3 attack. I mean, he's 4 physical defense, 6 health. He moves medium. He's a 3 threat. He's pretty cheap. His acrobatic strike not only gets you within range 1. If you roll the wild, you gain power equal to damage dealt. He has animalistic freestyle for his next attack, which is 4. After attack's resolved, you gain the bleeding condition. And again, I also want to take characters that put out conditions too, because with Doctor Strange's leadership ability, if you pay a power, you change one of your attacks to a physical, energy, or psychic, and then if you do damage, you just have to do 1 damage. You do a damage, they get hex. So think about that. Like you're taking a character like Beast, you can hand out 2 conditions on a character, like just off of this in general, like. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I read this wrong. Oh, no. It's Animalistic Freestyle. I'm sorry. That's what I was reading. I thought it was his free attack that did it. Yeah, okay. Animalistic Freestyle. Yeah, you hand out bleed. I mean, for 5 power, basically, you do this attack. You hand out bleed no matter what. You don't need to put damage on somebody. And if you put damage, once you change this attack to an energy, psychic, whatever, you hand out bleed, you hand out hex. Now crits don't explode, and when they activate, that they take a damage. Bleed, think about it. Bleed, it stacks up over time. Like at certain points in the game, like people start making decisions like, oh my god, I have 1 health left. Like, do I shake or? I mean, it's a really bleed adds up. Like people don't clear right away, and people are like, oh, why do I always have to take damage? I mean, it adds up. Like it can be crucial. And not getting crits to explode is huge. But yeah, like I want characters that do that kind of stuff, along with handing out hex. As if I can put out as many conditions as possible, I mean, it makes my opponent's game a little more frustrating. They, crits aren't exploding. They're slowly dying because of bleed, a stagger. I can put out stagger with Doctor Strange, stuff like that with his Crimson Band Sidorak. If I don't get the result, it puts out stagger. So. And then he has a throw, which is cool. Someone within size 2 or someone within range 2, size 2 or less, you throw them small. That's cool for 2 power. The other part to this too is his stars and garters, which is basically you spend 1 to 3 power, you roll 1 to 3 defense dice depending on how much power you spent. You spend 3 power, you reroll 3 dice. Again, you pump dice with Doctor Strange, you give it to Beast. Like let's say if it's physical, he goes to 6, and then from there, depending on what you roll, you can go ahead and re-roll up to 3 dice. His survivability is pretty high with this team. That's the other thing I'm looking for too. What characters can survive with this dice that I'm giving you? Can I make it harder for other people to kill characters? You know what I mean? He not only gets extra dice, he gets re-rolls. So pretty simple there. And then whenever he rolls dice, he gains a power when he rolls failures. I mean, that's cool. That's the thing I always forget. I played him this weekend. I completely forgot to give myself a power because I didn't read that at all. It's something I just always miss. Okoye, bodyguard, simple enough. Doctor Strange doesn't need it. Bodyguard and Okoye, I think, is one of the, if not the best 2-point character in the game. She only has 4 health, but she has martial artist. She has built-in rerolls against survivability, so she bodyguards. Again, she bodyguards for Doctor Strange, the whole strat, pump dice. everything with the defenders is positioning. So have Okoye within range 2 of Doctor Strange. She's already within range 3 for his defense dice. They attack. You pull off. You do the bodyguard. You pump her with dice, and you hope she survives, and she should. With the extra dice, I mean, if they're within range 2, she gets blanks as successes. When it's a physical or energy attack, if they're in range 2. So I mean, it's enough said there. I mean, it's pretty simple as to why I run her. In this list, I was torn. No, I wasn't actually. Taskmaster. Again, Taskmaster. He's a 3-point character. He counts as a rogue agent. He adds to your affiliation. In high point games, you can take him with the defenders and not have to worry about it. Makes it count towards your affiliation. It's awesome. Not just that, he's 6 health, 3 across the board. He has photographic. I mean, he just has things built in for defense as well, like intuitive pattern recognition. If an enemy character targets this character with an attack, it has already targeted this character with an attack, and start add 2 defense dice. So now you add 2 defense dice. If he's within range 3 of Doctor Strange, add 2 more. Again, that's my thinking with this team. It's like, okay, who can benefit from the defense dice? Who can benefit from the taking this? Like Taskmaster's one of those characters. Now, granted, dice are dice, and things happen, right? I mean, you can roll badly and still die. It happens. But you want to give yourself as much opportunity as possible to survive, right? And keep them alive as much as possible. You want your opponent to waste these attacks on these characters, and like Taskmaster. I mean, that's enough said there. He does have martial artists as well too. Taskmaster does want to be within range 2. So if they attack him and they're within range 2 of you, and all of a sudden, Doctor Strange within range 3, pump him with dice. He gets blanks as a result from physical or energy attacks. He gets blanks as successes. He gets 2 extra dice. And if they already attacked you, and if this is their second attack, he gets 2 more. So he can basically net you 7 on a defense roll. 2 from intuitive pattern recognition, and then 2 from Doctor Strange. That goes to 7. It's huge. But that's I mean, Wolverine. Enough said. I think he's the better 4-pointer. I was running Daredevil earlier, and I did like playing Daredevil with Doctor Strange as well. But I just think Wolverine's just better. I mean, more health. He has built-in healing. Of course, he's got to be able to range 2 to 3 to do attacks. Defensively, as long as he's not running into psychics, he should be fine. I mean, he should be KOing characters left and right. And with the built-in healing, I mean, that should be self-explanatory as to why I take it. But I was torn between him and Daredevil. I mean, obviously Wolverine's the better character in my opinion. But I like playing with Daredevil. When I was playing the Defenders list, Daredevil did a lot of work for me, and I had some strats with him that were pretty crazy. I mean, I have some people that'll vouch for that here locally. But I mean, I say toy around with that with Wolverine Daredevil. Give it a shot. Try Wolverine out, and then I say go ahead and swap out Wolverine for Daredevil. See how it works for you. If I run Daredevil, I'm definitely going to run Unearthly Rage. Unearthly Rage nets you 2 extra dice for if there's 2 or more characters around you within range 2. And then on top of that, you do his area attack. That nets you more dice depending on how many people are around you. I mean, I had 8 to 10 die rolled attacks with him. Just doing the area attack, doing damage, and handing out hexes, and handing out hexes because I'll go ahead and spend a power to change the attack. Unearthly Rage. And I just, attack everybody, push them out of range, directly away from Daredevil, and then everybody, if I did damage to you, guess what? You got Hex, you got Hex, you got Hex, and you're pushed away, you're out of position, you're out of Daredevil's range and all this stuff. Like, it's pretty sick. I like the synergy with Daredevil in this, but I mean, I chose Wolverine this time around because, well, I just think he's the better character. So, now we get to, and I thought I updated this roster, but that's okay. So now we go to the Brotherhood side of it, right? We go to Mystique. I mean, clear as she moves long. Threat. Wow. 3 threat. She's 3s across the board. She has martial artists. She has stealth. You have to be within range 3 of her to hit. I could see running her with Doctor Strange as well. But if I'm playing Brotherhood, I have to run it because right now, currently, I only have 2 Brotherhood characters, and the reason for this is that I think previously I had Sabretooth in here. I don't know what happened here. I have to relook at this again. But right now, let's just go with Mystique. I do have Taskmaster again. Rogue Agent adds you that 3rd Brotherhood character, right? And from there, you just pick and choose who you want, depending on the points that you're playing, right? In low-scoring games, I'm not playing the Brotherhood. I'm going to play Doctor. I'm going to play Defenders. High-scoring games, I'm probably going to be playing the Brotherhood, because you can go and take some stupid stuff with Magneto, Ebony Maw. I mean, I've played it. It's really, really awesome. But yeah, I mean, Mystique is, again, if you play her with Defenders, you pump her with dice with Doctor Strange. She has stealth. She has martial artist. Her leadership is really, really fantastic, depending on what kind of style you want to play. If you're playing, civilians or something, panic or whatever, you can gain a power. If you decide, that's the beautiful thing about the Brotherhood, you can play either or of the leaderships, depending on what style you want to play. If you're, playing panic or something like that, where you pick up people, you gain a point for it. It's basically when you interact with an extract, you pay a power, you gain it back. So it's basically a free extract. It's sick. So if you want to, I think it's just a match. I don't know. Between Mystique and Magneto's, I mostly play Magneto's leadership ability because you pick stuff up, throw it, you gain power. Like it's advanced R&D. It's advanced and walking. So you're walking advanced R&D. It's phenomenal. But this, I like it as well. I've tried it one time. It was a blast. Not just that, you gain power for anything you interact with when it comes to extracts. Also, you can place a token on an objective, on a secure objective, a token. Like, for example, if you're playing, you're playing one of the secures that you have to be within 1 of to score, what you do is that you put that token on the closest one towards you, and you can go ahead and take a character off that point and move around and still score that. You know what I mean? Now, granted, some of them you're going to miss the buff or anything, but like stuff like Cosmic Vaults and things like that, the new trap, secure, you just put one on there. You don't got to worry about it. It goes away when they interact with it, but again, they have to come towards you. What I like about it is that you can just put that on there, not have to worry about it, go and score other points, and maybe go on your opponent's side of the field and go ahead and start interacting with his and stealing his points. I love the flexibility with this leadership, especially with Magneto. We'll get into Magneto right now. Magneto is basically any terrain feature that gets destroyed. You, depending on the size, each person. So, for example, if it's size 4, you pick it up, you throw it. 4 characters get 1 power. That's phenomenal. It's a walking advanced R&D, and you'll take any in this game. You'll take any extra power anywhere you can get it. This leadership is just amazing. If you want to just play a team that's just wants to get a lot of power and just wreck stuff, Magneto. He's hard to kill. I haven't tried a game playing. I want to at some point in a high point game try Doctor Strange and Magneto and see how that goes. But I haven't done that yet. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be stupid. It's gonna be stupid good. So but you got to think about it though. If you're running Doctor Strange Soulstone with Magneto, that's 12 points. That's basically over. That's over half your roster at that point. So hard for me to justify. It depends. For me, if you're gonna do it, it'd have to be like a 20 to 18 point game, and then you could do it. Anything below that, I wouldn't even try it, in my opinion. But yeah, he could also just pick up things and throw them. It's not once per turn. Granted, every time you use it, you have to pay an extra power to pick up that terrain feature and throw it. I've only done it like a max of 2 times a turn. I think that's all you need, really. Throws are really, really strong in this game. They're hard to defend against. There's only one card that mitigates throw damage right now, and that's Brace for Impact. There might be another one, I don't know. There's a lot of cards in the game, so if I forget, hey, I'm sorry. But you can get them to burn that card and throw something else at them again, and then they're going to take all that damage. Throws are brutal. And he has force projection just like Ebony Maw, right? Again, this is he's tanky, right? Like he can sit there and take the damage. You try to focus on Magneto, he's gonna go ahead and like, okay, I'm gonna spend a lot of power to defend, but I'm gonna force you to waste some attacks here. You know what I mean? To try to get rid of him. So he has something similar to that. He puts out the metal constructs. If there's one out there, he gains an additional power, and he can throw it. Magneto's just sick. He's sick. So and then we already talked about Ebony Maw. I love running Ebony Maw both. He has a throw. I mean, I just love the synergy with everything that I got here. So far, I mean, I've played a couple of games with this, and I've been pretty successful. But yeah, so those are the characters for this list. This is my Defenders X Brotherhood list that I created, and we'll be running and some more and testing, and because I mean this, like I said, keep testing. And right, your list is always ever growing. You don't want to stop here and say this is it, this is final. Play it as much as you can, and give it a shot. And if you don't like it, hey, like take out what you don't like and adjust it. Like for example, if I find out that hey, I'm not liking Ebony Maw, it's not been good for me lately, I'll just switch him out for Ghost Rider, or I'll switch him out for Sabretooth. You know, same thing. Like with Wolverine, I've been debating Wolverine, Daredevil. I might just flip flop these guys and just see how it goes for me. So now let's get into the secures that I run. Deadly Meteors. I love this one a lot. It's the C map. I think Defenders and Brotherhood really excel in the C. You place it straight across. You have to come up, interact with it to control the meteor. What I like doing is depending on the point too. Let's say we're playing 17. If I play 17, I'm gonna go in with Doctor Strange here. I'm gonna go Doctor Strange at 6. I'm going to go Valkyrie at 3. Right there, that puts me at 9. I'll probably go Okoye. That'll put me at 11 right there. Where am I? So 6, 9, 11. I can go ahead and go. See, this is where it gets tough, right? So right now I'm at, let's see, I got 2 defenders. I need one more to fit here. Oh, I thought I had this in my head all planned out. Hold on a minute, guys. So 17, 6, 9, 11. I can go. You can either go Taskmaster or Beast, and that'll fill you out a 5-man roster and get you the bonus and get you the leadership because of Taskmaster being rogue agent, or you can just go here's the issue. 6. Wait a minute. Let's do this again. 6, 9, 11, 14. Yeah, at 17, I would have to go Beast there for 17, which isn't bad. I mean, Beast can go ahead and, again, what I like to do in that kind of map is, depending on who goes first, if he goes first, whoever interacts with the bombs first, that's the first character I'm going to attack. So I go up with Doctor Strange. I'll do his attack, and if I do damage, I get to push. And now once I start pushing you towards me, I just start going to town on that character. And I'm like, okay, you brought him in. Now I can go ahead and maybe grab that point. I've taken you off of it. And I can probably go in and interact with the next turn with another character. And I can use other characters to focus fire on that one character to remove him and try to remove him that next turn 2 from the game. So either middle, left, or the right one, doesn't matter. I'm going to have Doctor Strange kind of in an area where I can hit each one with his range 4 attack being really, really far. You should be able to get to anybody with one move, do an attack, push them forward, and then from there, Valkyrie can go in, charge, do her attacks. Hopefully she gets power. Then from there, she can throw that character even closer to me, and then I can get other. If I don't kill the character, from there I can use somebody else to do the attack, and then go ahead and start taking points and dominating, because all you have to do is control 2 out of 3. You control 2 out of 3, you're getting 3 points right there. So if you can take somebody off, you go in, you have somebody interact with an objective, you continuously harass the character that you pushed forward, and then you try to win either the middle or the right point. If I take the left, I'm either going to focus on the middle or the right. So Yeah, that's why I love it because you can bring in a character. A character has to get really, really close to the middle of the board and try to contest that. Um, so that's why I like that kind of map with this team when I run on defender. Same thing with Brotherhood. If I get somebody here in the middle, I'm like, okay, cool. I can, same thing. I mean, I could probably, well, no, actually, see, I have to think more about the Brotherhood with this objective, but definitely for sure defenders I'm playing with this one. Mutant Madmen, turn City Center Park into Lethal Amusement Park. The two lists I'm definitely going to run here, Brotherhood and defenders, right? So if I'm running a 18-point list and if I win the objective and if I win the roll and I'm choosing 18 points, what I do here then is I run Doctor Strange for defenders, Ebony Maw. I'm going to run Valkyrie. So right now I'm at 11, I'm at 14. I can go Wolverine for 4, and I'm running 4 characters on an 18 point, or I could go ahead and do something like, I don't know, let's see, I can go Doctor Strange, Ebony, Valkyrie. Right now that's 14. I can go Taskmaster for 17. Oh, still I can run 4 characters. So at that point, I probably won Wolverine at 4. That's still a strong four character cast that I can do. And try to dominate one side of the board with the traps and everything. I could be wrong. I mean, I don't feel that the defenders are strong in D. I feel like in C and the one that's Gamma Wave, I feel like they're stronger in those. But still, I mean, in that list, I mean, I feel confident running those 4. And same thing, I would try to find the closest character, bring you in, and try to play a slower game. I'll be behind in points for sure if I'm playing against the Web Warriors or if I'm playing against Wakanda. I'm gonna get behind fast, but with the slower gameplay that I'm doing, especially being as tanky as I am with handing out dice and healing and all that stuff, I can go ahead and slowly catch up. Probably like round 3 or 4 if I'm hanging in there and I'm not super behind. I can probably come back and win the game. But, hey, you have to roll dice to control it, so to control the objective, and it's a high point objective. I want to play with a lot of points. Oh, for this one, for Secure 16, I do like this one a lot. I can score the game. This is the Mayor Fisk one. Again, it's a C map. It goes on to both ends. So you got 1 civilian towards the left, 1 to the right. In this one, I hope, if let's say, for example, I end up losing, my hope for this one is, if I lose the roll and I end up getting the secure, well, here, if I win the goal is if I win the roll, let's win the roll, right? Win the roll, I end up pulling this, I end up playing this. I'm going to hope my opponent plays a higher extract because I'm going to choose the higher points. There's no way I'm going to play 16 with Doctor Strange or the Brotherhood. I can, but it's to make a list with that is gonna be tough. So for me, I'm gonna hope for 17 to 20, right, to get there. And if I could somehow get an 18 and 19, for 18, I probably run. Let's say at 18 points, I probably go Strange, Soulstone 6, 9, Valkyrie. So where we at? So 9, 14. 16 with a Koye. See, this is where it comes to. See, 18 is a tricky number. Maybe I don't do that. Maybe I go brother. Let's change our mind here. Let's go. Let's say I win this one with Mayor Fisk. And we're going 18 points. Let's say I can find 18 points. I'd probably just stick with Brotherhood here. I'd probably go Magneto, Mystique, Taskmaster. That puts me at 12. And I already have the affiliation. I can go 15. I can go 15 with Valkyrie at that point. Because right now that put me at 3 right there. And right now I need 3 more points. I could run a Koye to protect myself. Or I could go Beast. Or I can go... Yeah, I can just go one of these 2 right here. And I'd probably go a Koye. I'd go a point under, go a Koye to protect myself. Protect other characters. I do run Hired Muscle. Well, we'll get to that in a second. So... Now we get to extracts. So if I win the rolls, I mean, all my extracts are... Well, I got 2 at 20. I got a 20 and 19, and I have the 14 with the Mutant Extremist Target US. Again, it's a C map. I like the C maps. If I do end up playing 14, and I win the roll, I'm gonna go for the higher points so I can play as many characters as possible. Because with this, I mean, the Brotherhood and the Defenders are both expensive teams. Very not cheap. You got to spend a lot to play them effectively. So yeah, I mean, if I'm playing 29, I'm definitely going to choose 20 or 19 if I end up getting any of these two here. The reason why, and the other thing is too, here I play right now. I got 1, 2, 3. Currently, half of my objectives are civilians. Reason being, I run hired muscle. So now we're getting into the secures. So secures, I run hired muscle. This is such a good card. I can reposition civilians. I'm going to have the power to do it with Doctor Strange or Magneto or Ebony Maw, who just generates 3 at the start of the turn. I just move up, reposition 2 civilians. Let's say, if I'm, for example, playing Panic. Panic, I could run up to the middle, like somewhere out to here, right? I can run out to the middle. I'm basically within range 3 of both. What I do is I run hired muscle for power. I take away your civilian from off your point, and then from there I reposition my other one at the bottom there to range 2, like a little closer to me, so I don't have to move up as far to get it. I'll take your civilian, and right now I just spent 2 power. Yeah, I'm at 1, and I'm probably going to eat a really nasty attack that first turn. But if he doesn't die, and I just take a couple points of damage, that next attack, I can go ahead and start juicing it for, you know, go to 6 psychic and try to survive as long as possible as I have that civilian. And depending on how much damage I take, and depending on how I defend and everything, how much power I have, that next turn, Ebony Maw should be extracting that civilian. Depending on what you do and how you play it. Because honestly, that next turn, what I would do then is I would move Doctor Strange up closer after the first attack onto Ebony Maw. And then what I'll do is I'll get within range to protect him, and then have a civilian and try to pump him with dice. And just to keep him alive. And then that next turn, like I said, I should have enough power to extract, and which will put me up 2 points. But hired muscle is such a good card, especially running civilians. That's why half my objectives are civilians. I mean, this card is really good. I'm almost always going to play this. Deception. This isn't. I mean, it's a Mystique specific card. Thank God it's not a Brotherhood thing. If you're running Mystique with Doctor Strange, you can run this card. You can pull somebody off a point, pull them towards you, and again, start the murder train on that character, depending on how you do the positioning. You pull them off a point, bring them towards you, and then you move up Doctor Strange, hit him on attack, push him more closer to you, and then feed him to either Wolverine or whatever, who's your heavy hitter. Deceptions, I mean, you play Mystique, play Deception. Field dressing, don't have to explain that. I mean, I can heal a character, and then Doctor Strange can heal somebody for 3 right afterwards. Keeping a character alive is crucial. Losing character sucks. Magnetic Refraction, pay 2 power. If you're playing Brotherhood, play this card too. It goes back into your deck after you play it. You gain cover while within 3 of Magneto. I always forget cover, by the way. All the time. I forget I have cover every time I play this card. It's insane how much I forget it. And I think everybody else does too. It's something that you really don't think about, especially when they're in range 2. It's like, oh man, do I lose cover? And like, no, you still have cover. Med pack, extra healing. Enough said. I love running this card with Ebony Maw. This card's huge. What I love about this is that if you position it correctly, this is a net gain for you for Doctor Strange, right? What I mean by that is that, okay, so when an enemy character is within 5, so the range is huge, right? So as long as Strange is within 4 of their characters with the Soul Stone, as long as Ebony Maw is within range 5 of a character, which should be really pretty easy to do, if they use a superpower, you play this card right here, right? Ebony Maw spends 1 or more power to use. Let's see this. Hold on a second. Spends 1 or more power to use a what? Hold on a minute. Allied Ebony Maw spends 1 or more power to use an innate or reactive superpower. Ebony Maw may spend 3 power to play this card. No, when an enemy character within 5 of an ally spends 1 or more. Yeah, spends 1 or more. Yeah, I can may spend 3 to play this card. So enemy mouse spends 3, should have this power pretty easily. The enemy superpower has no effect. So if they do a throw, if you do anything reactive, if they're playing Venom and they do the whole so many snacks, you do this. What I mean by a net gain of 1 to you is if you play this card, right, you spend 3. So the enemy power superpower has no effect and cannot be used again for the rest of this turn. Okay, so it cannot be used again. The character still spends power, so the character loses all that power that he just spent, and it's considered that you used it. If Doctor Strange is within range 4 of that character, he gains 1. It's pretty awesome. I love Shh. When you run out of any mall, play Shh. Great card. Big game changer. Trip Up, very simple. You get within range 2. I mean, basically, I always misplay this card. It's my fault. When an ally character targets an enemy character with an attack during its activation, the target character is within 2 of another allied character. Both spend a power to play this. If the target character is dealt damage by this attack, they get stunned, stagger. So the jank with this is like I said, Doctor Strange's leadership ability. You spend a power, they get hex. If you have another character that's within 2, let me see. And the target character is within 2 of another. Yeah, so you just have to have another character within 2 of that character that's attacking you or whatever. And you play this card, and if they're dealt damage by an attack, they get stagger, stun. Now imagine putting stagger, stun, hex. Those are 3 really, really nasty, gross effects. Conditions on a character. Hex, don't get crits. Stun, you don't gain more than 1 power. So that deals with the people that generate a lot of power. That just negates it. Not negate it, but they're not going to get as much power when they do damage and all that stuff. And then stagger, you lose an activation. Like, this is such... This can be... I think that to me, this is like a turn 2 to turn 3, or turn 3 to turn 4 kind of play, depending... It's a late in the game kind of thing where you really want to... If you want to seal the game, you want to really screw a character that has a ton of power and is just going to go off like a Thor or something like that, you can just stop it. Like, you can damn near stop it. Like, not stop it, but, like, at least take a turn away, right? So that's what you want to do with stagger. And then with stun, they don't gain as much power. So with Thor, if he has like 10 power and he's juiced, he has to spend 9, right? So he has to spend 3 to charge, and then 6 to do the God of Thunder attack or whatever. So he does that. That's 9 power spent. Now, if you played this card ahead of time, right, and they have stagger, stun, he has to waste an activation to clear stagger. He has to spend the 9 power to do what he wants to do, and he just lost 9 power, and he basically can't gain that power back because, well, the character doesn't, that attack doesn't net you any power. You get to spend it, use it, whatever. But the point is, and the other thing too is, if he has hex, crits don't explode. So it kind of mitigates that attack from just going off like crazy. If they roll a bunch of crits, well, guess what? They don't get the extra dice for it. That's awesome. And then you basically take away his next activation with stagger, so now he's next to you. Now he can't pull off that physical attack to gain power. Even if he could, he has stun on him, and he can only gain 1 power, and he won't gain the power from the total amount of damage they did to you. I love Trip Up with the defenders because of the conditions. They want to put out conditions to do their thing. Exceptional healing, very simple. You play this with Wolverine. Enough said. Basically, this team has a lot of healing, a lot of defensive stuff. Like I said, I want to play this team very, very I want to play them defensive and like a slow kind of game, like take my time and then like win it in the later rounds and stuff. I think this does that. If it doesn't, hey, I mean, whatever. I mean, at least that's my mindset when I came up with this roster here. Okay, so that's my Brotherhood. That's my Defenders X Brotherhood list that I've been liking a lot, and it's been pretty fun to play so far that I've played it. I've enjoyed it. Ooh, my mouth is getting... my throat's getting dry here, guys. I didn't have any water or anything. Give me 1 second. I will be right back. Let me go get a bottle of water, and I'll return, and we'll talk about my next roster here. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Okay? Be right back. And I wasn't gone too long. All right, I'm back. Whew, I really needed some water there. My voice was really going hoarse. All right, so now let's get into my next list here. This is just straight defenders. Again, I've already explained my philosophy of why I play this team, and I don't need to go into Doctor Strange and all that stuff. I want to go into other characters that I'm taking. The ones I'm not going to go over, obviously, Wolverine, Valkyrie, those are staples. Ebony Maw I've already talked about. Beast I've already talked about as well. Okoye, staple. The three other characters here that I run. I'm sorry, four. No, three. I'm sorry, three that I run here that are different. I want to talk about. So, Black Dwarf. Okay, Black Dwarf is a walking bodyguard. I had to reread this card 3 times, like a couple times. I'm like, okay, does this really say what it says? So basically, he gets within 2 of an enemy character, and he can pull off bodyguard on them. Like, you don't have to be within 2 of your character, so you can kind of push out Black Dwarf into his own little area and like put him on a character that you just want to take away attacks from. You know, you just put him on problem characters, and he's tanky, and defensively he's amazing. I mean, I remember playing a game with Black Dwarf and Doctor Strange, and literally I had Black Dwarf ahead of Doctor Strange, and he was within 2 of the enemy character, and he had no choice but to attack Black Dwarf. Every time I tried to attack Doctor Strange, I'm like, nope, bodyguard. Doctor Strange, feed him dice. Boom. And he's super tanky. I mean, -1 damage is huge. Think about it. -1 damage. You can see he has invulnerable skin. -1 damage is basically blocking an attack. So think about it. They do a 5 dice attack. If they do 3 damage, it's 2. Like, you're blocking one of them already before they even attack. So from there, you just got to roll pretty average, and you're fine. You should be able to survive a lot of attacks, feeding him. Well, if they get any damage through, you know, it's feeding him power, and from there, he just does what he does and irritates characters. His throw's amazing. He can pick up size 4 or less characters or buildings and just throw them on people. I believe it's called Black Fury, yeah. And he just goes crazy. I love Black Dwarf. And I also run Okoye because, again, it's 2 different styles, right? If I'm running and it's all depends on points. Like, if we're playing a smaller point game, I'm going to run Okoye. If we're running a big point game, I'm going to run Black Dwarf. There's going to be more characters on the map, and there's more points to play with. That's why I run them both, because I want that protection. I want to protect Doctor Strange as much as possible. I want to steal as much attacks away from Doctor Strange as possible, so that way he can go off and do what he does. The other one here is, and with this list, you're going to notice I run 3 5-pointers. Reason being is it depends on how I feel that day. If I want to just go nuts with Thor and do a whole bunch of attacks, I go Thor. Thor with, the leadership with Doctor Strange is phenomenal. He can change his physical attacks to energy. He can change it to psychic. He can just go off and then hand out conditions, right? And he has the area attack, which, you know, again, if you have the power, you could spend it to change it, and you can hand out Hex to a lot of people. You want to hand out as many conditions as possible, and I feel like Thor can do that with his area attack. I kind of want to take characters that have the beam and area attacks with this, because I want to attack multiple targets. I want to get multiple targets with all those conditions, you know, with Hex. Hex has saved my life a lot. When people can't get crits, dude, it's a bad day. Ghost Rider's the other one. I love Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider's a phenomenal 5-point character. 7 health. I mean, 3-4-4. Physical's 3. Energy's 4. Psychic is 4. He has range 3 attacks, and he moves medium. He has a giant base, so he's always within range to attack you. His change of damnation is free. 6 dice energy attack. Gains power for damage dealt. And if you get a wild, you get a Hex. That's just how it goes. Like, you just want to put out those conditions, man. The point. I love it. I love it. I mean, I love handing out conditions and making opponents change their mind on what they want to do. Right? Do they want to use an action to take away an action to heal this condition, or do they want to keep it and then just get it obliterated that next turn? I love that. His beam 3 is phenomenal. Again, If I do the Beam 3 attack, after this attack is resolved, the target character gains Incinerate. So if I can get 2 to 3 characters within range 3, they all get Hex. Hex is -1 defense. If I do damage, let's say if I want to change the attack to physical or whatever, or whatnot, I do Dark Strange stuff. If I hit all 3, they get Hex, they get Incinerate. Like, you're starting to see the synergy, right? Like, that's the synergy that I love the synergy with the defenders, how much I could do with like handout conditions and stuff like that. It's just it's crazy. He has hell on wheels. He moves long, which is he's the fastest character in the game because of that. Wicked's Judgment. So the beautiful thing about I always misplay this too. I have to remember how this works. So after an attack made by a character within 3 of this character's resolved, if the attack has targeted another allied character, like for example, let's say you have it positioned properly where you have Black Dwarf on a character. You have Doctor Strange somewhere within range 4 to 3, right? And then you have Doctor Strange within 3 of that enemy character. Oh, I want to attack Ghost Rider. Oh, wait a minute. No. Attack Black Dwarf. Oh, hey, I want to attack Doctor Strange. Oh, no. Attack Black Dwarf. Attack Black Dwarf, you pop Wicked's Judgment. Okay? Because how this works is if the Ghost Rider is within 3 of the enemy character and they choose to attack another character and you're within range 3, okay, for each crit rolled, suffers 1 damage. See what I'm saying? So that's extra damage being pelted out. It's 2 power. It's cheap to do, and Ghost Rider's always gaining power as well as long as he's within 3 of the. Okay, so after an attack is made by an enemy character within 3, so if, again he's in range, you gain now not just this. So now think about this for a second. So an enemy character doesn't attack. If the attack target another if the attack target another allied character, this character gains a power. So now Wicked's Judgment is a 1 cost if you think about it. So now you do the intimidating presence. They take the attack. Ghost Rider does Wicked's Judgment. He gains a power, and he spends 2 to do it. You just basically you net gained 1 power. You spent 2, so basically it's a 1 cost Wicked's Judgment. That's the whole synergy with that. Like with Black Dwarf, Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider. Now you look into this. You're like, oh my, that's expensive. Well, that's why you play expensive games with this list. So you play. Now, granted, I have enough points in here where if this was a smaller point game, I could figure it out and like make like a 15, 14 pointer. We can figure it out. But with the Defenders roster here, what you want to do is you want to play 17. I mean, in my opinion, you want to play between 16 to 20, right? You don't want to play anything less than that. If you do, you just figure it out. But yeah, like this is just phenomenal. I love pulling this off and all that. But yeah, I run 3 5-pointers, and it just depends on what I want to play that day. If I feel like playing Ghost Rider, if I feel like I'm going to get off of him today, I'll play him. Thor, if I want to go nuts killing people, I play him. Ebony Maw, I want to throw things and do Ebony Maw stuff, like do Hired Muscle, all that shit. Well, granted, I don't run Hired Muscle with this list here, but it just depends. Like, I say have 3 5-pointers, and like from there, whatever you're feeling, play one of them with Doctor Strange and see how it goes, right? So, again, Soulstone goes with Doctor Strange. So with this one, nothing changed here. I run Deadly Meteors. I run Demons Downtown, okay? With this list, I want to put out as many conditions as possible. This just does it if you interact with them. Now, it's funny. With this objective, I never score this objective because it's only 1 point each, and you don't pay a penalty being outside of it. So what I like to do is I like to see if my opponent's going to go and try to contest it and get Incinerate, and that way I can go off. If not, what I could then do is with Doctor Strange, I can push you onto a point. Yeah, I'm giving you a point, but you're going to take that Incinerate, and you're probably going to get murdered that next turn because you're -1 defense once you're incinerated. And then I could slowly grind and just take you down. And then at the end, normally what I like to do is at the end of the game, and I have the character advantage, then I start scoring these points and get ahead and just win the game. I hate scoring this at all. I try to stay out of it as much as I can because I don't want to get Incinerate. If I have less defense dice, it's bad for me. Granted, I could just juice it with Doctor Strange. I don't like having it. Incinerate's brutal. Mutant Madman, I just like playing this one. It's just awesome. 20 alien ship is just a 20-pointer that I like to play. 18 fear grips. I like this. With this one, I'll probably run Thor with Doctor Strange. It's probably one of those 18-pointers. I'll get a hammer +1 attack. That's phenomenal. I'll probably play Thor with this one. Montesi formula. Again, I do like the E-maps for the defenders, and I think this is a really good one. If you give this to Valkyrie, she gets a beam 3 attack. It's stupid. You can do the charge, beam 3 attack. If you have the power, you can then change it, and then, again, you can hand out conditions to multiple people depending on maybe you're attacking if you do damage. Again, it all depends on die rolls and attacking. So, I love this objective for anything in that middle there. E-map. I like. So now we get into the cards for this one, tactic cards. Brace for Impact. I think this team is really weak against throws. I think a lot of people are, but Brace for Impact is a given. I think I'm always going to almost run it every single time I play a game. There's no way I'm not. You throw damage sucks. To say the least, it sucks. It's not fun to deal with. You take a lot of damage. Positioning, all that stuff. It's just... Throws are really, really powerful. I run Deal with the Devil because I think it's the... People debate Highway to Hell and all this. I like running Deal with the Devil. If someone focuses on Ghost Rider, I can go ahead and sack another character that I'm not going to use. For example, let's say if Beast is still healthy, I'm like, okay, I'm done with you today. I'll sacrifice Ghost... It doesn't matter. As long as it's not Doctor Strange or any of my heavy hitters, I'll sacrifice Ghost Rider, bring him back, and he just goes to town. And this also hands out Incinerate. So enemy characters within 2 of Ghost Rider take Incinerate. So if you have a lot of people focus firing on a certain character, boom, drop Ghost Rider. You all get Incinerate, now I'm going to start going to town on you. You just want to hand out conditions. Disarm, this is something new. I don't play this card a lot. With 2 allied characters within 3, which I am, I'm mostly going to be within 3 with Doctor Strange, with Ghost Rider, with Ebony Maw, with... Yeah, I mean, Beast, I'm going to be within range 3. I can run Disarm. Disarm is huge. They take 2 fewer dice on all attacks this round, so a minimum of 1. Fewer dice. I mean, it sucks. It hurts anybody. I'm definitely going to try this out some more. Well, I haven't tried it at all. I definitely want to try it with this list. I mean, taking away dice and then putting out conditions, just ruining their day. I just want to give it a shot. Field dressing, self-explanatory. No matter the cost, this is basically for... Wolverine, the whole jank with it is if you can get within range 3, you do no matter the cost, you take 3 damage. It becomes a free placement for Wolverine, basically. He does this 7 dice physical attack. You can go ahead and then spend a power, because if you can get them, the whole thing is if you can get the push with Doctor Strange early on a character, if they're in the middle there, if you're playing bombs or something like that, you get the push. One movement should get that character within 3 of Wolverine. You play them out of the cost. That's 1 attack. You go ahead, place within 1, and then from there, depending on where the placement is, you can probably get within a bomb. It just depends on the character's base and all that to do this. And you do your attack, you land within 1, you get to throw. If they're size 3 or less, you throw them small, whatever, you throw them into a car or whatever, they take another point of damage. You see if you can finish them off with Animating Slash, or if you daze them, if you one-shotted them, which happens, if you one-shotted them, you just move. Now you just play the objective game and go in. You still have your power. Well, no, you don't actually. I'm sorry. So you would have to. God, you would have to hope that doesn't kill. So let's say if it doesn't one-shot, because okay. Let's say I think what you don't do. Let me rephrase that. You don't spend your power to change it. You just go ahead and do this attack, place within 1, do the throw. From there, you can make a decision, either try to daze that character, or you can go ahead and move within 1 of the bomb or something like that, or whatever objective, and try to take control of it. Now you're in the lead. You're controlling 2. Now they got to come in and try to take away these points. Because in bombs, it's 3 points. You control 2 more. That's 3 points a turn. It's huge. So that's why I run them out of the cost. Shush. Ebony Maw character. I'm always going to run it. Trip Up, I've already explained that. Exceptional Hitting, self-explanatory. So this is my straight defenders list. So these are 2 lists that I have for the defenders. One with the Brotherhood because I want to, I do like lists with 2 teams. So that way, if I feel like playing something different that day, I could run a second list I could run another list with another team. Defenders. If I'm just feeling defenders, I could just bring this team and I'm happy with it. And I could just figure it out from there and come up with uh, a nice game plan and just do some cool shit with it. So yeah. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. This is just my Defenders X Brotherhood list and my Defenders list. I just wanted to get this out there. I did see, like I said, saw someone talking about, hey, what do you run with Defenders? I mean, this is what I do. This is basically my main team going forward. I mean, I do love the X-Men. I've been trying them out. I tried Cyclops the other day, and I like playing with Cyclops as the leader. It's just my positioning wasn't the best with that team, so I didn't get a chance to do the buff with him with spend 1 power off each person, and your attack becomes cheaper. It was just more of a positioning thing. I think with Cyclops, I think people should give him a shot too. I don't really I don't think people are high on him. I mean, I'm not really high on him. I'm like in the middle with him. But basically, yeah. I mean, I came up with this off the top of my head. I'm having fun with it. I love this game because of all this flexibility. I can take whatever I want and make something like this and have fun with it, right? I mean, this isn't something I came up with, oh my god, this is meta. No, if I'm going to play a game and this is what I want to play, and like this, I love the flexibility here. You know what I mean? I don't see a lot of people playing Ebony Maw. I don't see, well, I've only seen Ghost Rider a few times, but I mean, I don't see a lot of Ghost Riders, stuff like that. Obviously, I think you're going to see a lot of Beast and Okoye, obviously. There's some staples in here that are like, oh, it's meta. But, there's a reason why I'm taking Okoye. It's not because, I think she's just good. I'm just going to put her here. No, I have a game plan for it. You have to have a game plan. And you have to have reasons as to why you take these characters and why you take certain objectives and why you take certain tactics cards. And I hope my reasoning was good today, and I hope I explained that properly. I've been going on for an hour rambling now, so. Anyways, guys, I gotta get going. I am gonna go ahead and try to get this on a podcast because right now I'm recording the audio. I'm recording this. This will be on my YouTube sometime today or tomorrow. That's it. Anyways, guys, Chewy891 here. You guys have a good day. Try these lists out. If you're a Defenders player, give it a shot. Tell me what you think. You like it? Tell me why you like it. You don't like it? Tell me how do you improve it. I'm always open to changing lists and trying something different all the time. Let me know what you guys think. Definitely rate the video if you unlike if you like the video if you like it, unlike it if you don't like it. Subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna try to get these videos out more frequently as best I can. And like I said, I'm gonna try to get this audio out to a podcast as I do want to get into podcasting. So yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm out. Take care. Have a blessed day, and see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.